Hello Detroit Lions fans. Welcome to the channel and this big update. The prediction that the Detroit Lions will invest heavily in a player at a position of obvious need is gaining momentum. Before continuing, leave a like to support this video. It doesn't cost anything and it helps us a lot. We have a goal of reaching 2,000 subscribers here on the channel. So help us out with your humble like, and if you are new here, take the opportunity to subscribe. Now stay until the end so you can understand everything. Let's go. Despite facing challenges last season, Aidan Hutchinson stood out as one of the team's main defensive pieces. Before suffering an injury that kept him off the field after Week 6, he was on pace to compete for the Defensive Player of the Year title. Even with the signing of Zadarius Smith during the trade deadline, who had 4 sacks in 8 games, the gaps in the Lions' defensive line were evident. The widespread injuries only amplified this problem, reinforcing the need for a strong reinforcement at the edge rusher position. With free agency and the 2025 NFL Draft on the horizon, the Lions' search for an edge rusher should be at the top of the team's priority list. Many draft experts are predicting that the Lions could select an edge rusher in the first round with their number 28 pick. However, General Manager Brad Holmes has a history of prioritizing value and talent over immediate needs. Still, he has also demonstrated a willingness to address weak spots on the roster, as evidenced in the last draft when he selected cornerbacks in the first 2 rounds to address a clear need for the team. Among the names speculated as possible picks, one standout comes from Ohio State, JT Tuimoloau. Bleacher Report's Brent Sobleski compiled a list of 6 players he believes have a strong chance of being selected earlier than expected in the draft. Tuimoloau is listed as the 5th name on that list and is considered an intriguing prospect. While he lacks the athleticism of other more explosive edge rushers, he has made up for his shortcomings with solid performances and a remarkable trajectory of improvement throughout his college career. Tuimoloau, a former 5-star recruit, racked up 6.5 sacks while helping the Buckeyes advance through the college playoffs and pursue a national title. Last season, he upped his game even further, recording 12.5 sacks and 22 tackles for loss in 16 games. Despite that, critics have pointed to his lack of natural athletic ability, with experts noting that he could be a low-ceiling, high-floor prospect. Sobleski made an interesting point when he mentioned the Lions as one of the teams most likely to draft Tuimoloau. According to him, teams that are in dire need of an edge rusher but don't have access to the most explosive talent early in the first round could find him to be a solid, reliable option. His ability to defend against the run game, establish the edge, and provide consistent pressure is seen as a set of attributes that align with the Lions' needs. For the Lions, fit and intangibles matter as much as a player's raw talent. While Tuimoloau doesn't have the same potential as other edge rushers in the 2025 class, the team rarely gets carried away by that. Holmes has shown that he prefers to take players who fit the team's philosophy and style, even if they aren't popular picks among experts. If the Lions do take Tuimoloau in the first round, it would be a decision that, at first glance, could be controversial. However, given the team's history and the way they evaluate players, the choice could end up being more accurate than it seems. In a draft where balancing need and value will be key, the Lions appear poised to make bold moves that continue their evolution as one of the NFL's most promising teams. After falling short of their ambitious goal of winning the Super Bowl in 2024, the Detroit Lions are looking to strategically restructure their roster. In order to overcome the obstacles that have held the team back, the franchise is focusing on strengthening areas that are crucial to reaching the top of the NFL. And one of those areas is, without a doubt, the pass rush. Although Aidan Hutchinson is expected to return to action in 2025 after dealing with a significant injury, the player's absence has highlighted a weak point on the team: pass rush depth. The Lions are in dire need of a long-term solution to complement Hutchinson on the field. Zadarius Smith is currently under contract, but his future remains uncertain, especially with his upcoming free agency in 2026, when he will be 32 years old. The lack of a consistent, long-term piece alongside Hutchinson is something Detroit needs to address in order to compete at the highest level. In this scenario, Bleacher Report's Alex Ballentine has come up with a bold suggestion: a high-impact trade between the Lions and the Las Vegas Raiders, involving renowned edge rusher Max Crosby. The proposed deal would also include a 2025 fifth-round pick to the Lions, while Detroit would send quarterback Hendon Hooker and its 2025 and 2026 first-round picks to the Raiders. A hefty price tag, but one with the potential to completely transform the Lions' defense. The proposal is intriguing for several reasons. First, it demonstrates that the Lions are willing to go all in and put together a defensive team capable of changing the course of a game. Imagine a defensive line consisting of Hutchinson, Crosby, and Zadarius Smith, a trio capable of giving opposing quarterbacks nightmares. For a team that is losing defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn, the raw talent on the defensive line would be a significant asset for new coordinator Kelvin Shepard as he tries to keep the defense evolving. Despite the huge cost, 2 first-round picks and a promising young quarterback in Hooker, the benefits could be overwhelming. Max Crosby is not only one of the best pass rushers in the league, but he is also a player who can elevate the entire defensive unit. For the Lions, that could be the boost they need to make them a title favorite next season. Crosby, meanwhile, has a massive $94 million contract, but his performance has justified the investment. The 4-time Pro Bowl selection has been a mainstay for the Raiders. However, his future in Las Vegas is not guaranteed. Crosby has expressed frustration with the team's recent record, marked by losses and instability. Despite that, he has also been more optimistic recently, suggesting he may be willing to stay with the Raiders, depending on the direction the franchise takes. In addition to being a technical solution for the Lions, Crosby has a personal connection to Detroit. A Michigan native and former Eastern Michigan University player, he would have the opportunity to return to his roots while also competing for a Super Bowl, something the Raiders don't seem capable of offering at the moment. While Crosby does not have a no-trade clause, it's likely the Raiders would respect his wishes if he expressed an interest in returning home. For the Raiders, the package offered by the Lions would be enticing. 2 first-round picks represent a substantial rebuilding opportunity, and Hendon Hooker, while still developing, has the potential to be a long-term solution at quarterback. Las Vegas, which is currently seeking stability at the position, could find Hooker the missing piece to lead its offense for years to come. While the idea of Crosby forming a legendary duo with Hutchinson is exciting for Lions fans, whether or not this trade will actually happen is still uncertain. Crosby seems likely to stay in Las Vegas, especially if the franchise continues to show signs of progress. However, if the Raiders decide to embark on a full rebuild, this trade could become a reality and completely change the course of both Detroit and Las Vegas. For the Lions, the move would be a clear statement that the team is fully committed to competing for a title. If Crosby does become available, Detroit needs to be ready to make a move. His combination of talent, history, and emotional connection to the city make him a perfect fit for the Lions' defensive future. Leave your comment now, it will be very important. Don't forget to like this video to support this video. Until next time.